Hello, so today we're going to do a quick tutorial for Valentine's Day using a Copperplate calligraphy script. This is suitable for beginners. Copperplate can be quite tricky, but I think it's just worth trying as you get started to see what scripts you prefer. I'm using the Manuscript Straight Pen Holder and also the EF Principal Nib, which is sort of a good flexibility nib for Copperplate for getting those very fine hairlines. I'm using the Manuscript Calligraphy Parchment paper, which I think gets really fantastic results, especially as a beginner with calligraphy. I really like using this paper. I find it lovely and smooth. There's not so much friction on there. You get great results, not so much resistance when you're pushing your nib around. I'm also going to be using a black ink from Manuscript Pen Company. So the first thing you need to do with your nib is just make sure that any oil that is on it is removed, because all nibs are coated with oil to stop them from going rusty. So you can pop it in a potato and pull it out, and the starch will get rid of that. You can give it a good brush with your toothbrush and some toothpaste, maybe get rid of that afterwards. You can pop it into the tap. You can put a flame very quickly over it, and I tend to rub it because my fingers are like sandpaper. So I've got really dry, scratchy fingers, so that gets rid of it for me. Which is sad. Okay, when you hold your pen, we hold it like exactly like a pointer pen calligraphy. So we're holding our pen like this, not too far down here, not so far up here. We're holding it at this section, so you can see there it's on my middle finger. Okay, and then we hold it against the paper and we're writing. You kind of want to have it at this angle. Okay, so as we're going up and down, so pressure, pull down, creates a thick stroke, up, very gently up, creates the hairlines as thin strokes. And as I'm moving up, you can see this part of my hand here on the paper. Okay, as you're going up and down, if you try to do that with a little bit of finger movement, that will allow you to slide across the page. Okay, sliding across the page, and you get a lovely fluid movement. Because if you just use your fingers, this is as far as you get. But if I move my hand and slide my hand, this is the movement that I can achieve from that. Okay. So I tend to have a little scrap piece of paper on the side or just up here, just to get rid of the excess ink. So we dip our ink in the pot and we scrape off the edges. Sometimes there's a little bit too much ink on the nib. You can kind of see it there. It's just coming down. It's a big blob. So what I tend to do is just push this down to get rid of any excess ink. And let's just work on some of the shapes for Copperplate. So one of the main ones is oval. With Copperplate calligraphy, everything is based around the oval shape. Over the top, down, around, and then release. Okay. Zoom in for you. Try again. Over the top, pressure, release, and then you join up here. Creates that perfect oval shape. And then we also have the Universal Line of Beauty, which looks like this. Okay. Pull it down a bit more. But it can also look like this. So these are the lines that I try to achieve. And also the compound curve. Up, over the top, down, over the top this way. You want these to be parallel as much as you can. Okay, so we're going to do our V, our capital V. Okay, so I like to go over the top, bring it down, release, and then out. Run out of ink there, always happens. Let's try again. Down, pressure, release, and then out. Okay, then we do a little entrance stroke coming in, which is this stroke. Now this stroke coming in, I'll show you here, it's actually that part of an oval. Okay, and then move to the right fraction, do your A. Underturn loop to there, move to this fraction here, and then do your ascender loop down. And I try to keep it as narrow as I can to here. And then we do straight into the compound curve for our N. Up again. Okay, I'm going to do a T, but because the T hasn't got a loop, the T only goes to here. Back to the N, compound curve. To the E. Move to the right fraction, over the top. S. Oval, at the top there. Just keep this nice and simple. Got there. and we'll dot Valentines. And then we can be a bit fancy. We have a bit of a fancy L, so capital L. So again, we're going to go reverse oval. So this is going to be this way. We're going to go up, mini oval, up again, another oval, and then down. So I'm going to make sure I've got enough ink on the nib. Little oval, down, bring it out, oval, pressure, down. Okay. There you go, Valentine's Love. That's a very, very quick little introduction into modern copperplate script. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please subscribe and like this video, and there'll be more to come. Thank you.